Hello, everybody. My name is Enes Hosgor. I am the CEO and founder of Gesund, and today I'll be walking you through the models module of our platform, Gesund.ai Development and Assurance Platform. Now, let me jump into the models tab directly and also click Create Model. This allows registering existing models to our platform, typically coming from our customers, although third party, let's say open source AI models can be linked to the platform as well. And we can link the models to the platform in a number of different ways. It can be from a cloud bucket or it can be a Docker image. But the most common way that we encounter with our customers that I'll be walking you through today is through an API endpoint registration. Now, let me pre-deploy this API endpoint, and I can manage authentication here, but given this is an open source model that I'm using for demo purposes, let's not worry about that. And then switch gears for populating the model details. Now, I can, of course, fill out these model card details from scratch, but to pre-populate some of these fields in the interest of time, I just selected an existing model card details that I can also change here. And ultimately, this is where I get to decide the details on the model, but also manage the user access rights. Note that the platform is SOC 2 Type 2 certified. In other words, we take model IP integrity as seriously as data privacy and integrity. So therefore, we can manage who has access to this model here, the grant user permission button. That being said, this is an open source model that I'll be using for demo purposes. That allows me to move on to the runtime configuration. Now, we select some of these, input types, instance series, study, tabular, and output types, whether that's Nifty, JSON, CSV, PDF. In the interest of time, I want to remove some of the model parameters, runtime model parameters here, and then also make sure that the model predictions are not generated high quality to minimize compute time for demo purposes. And then move on to the next page to verify the endpoint. I select a compatible data set here to test the predictions from this model. In this case, chaos data set, that is a CT data set. I will select a study here from this particular data set. And then I can pre-select some labels. Total Segmentator has dozens of organ labels associated with it. I'll just select a few, and then the quality of the predictions will be low for demo purposes. And then after this, I will move with deployment. Get prediction. You see, this is the summary page with all the overview of the details of the model card to make sure that, we have been able to plug in the appropriate details as necessary. And once we confirm that, we hit create model, and voila, we have registered that model to the platform. We can always adjust the model card details here. And that being said, let me switch gears to show you how we visualize some of the registered models predictions on our playground, which is available both in 2D as well as multiplanar, which is what I'm showing right now. So I'm selecting a compatible data set, and this will take a second, but Playground allows for the data scientist, non-data scientist interactions, whereby data scientists can register and deploy the model, and board-certified subject matter experts, let's say clinician annotators and evaluators, can visualize the model predictions and or pre-annotations coming from the model to adjust if necessary, but also evaluate visually how that looks in a clinically native environment. So we can select a pre-existing set of predictions. In the interest of time, I'll just show a set of predictions that are already created for this data set from Total Segmentator. And you see there's a handful of predictions that come from this. I can look at it from a 3D standpoint, but also go slice by slice across different axes, planes, to make sure that the predictions hold their quality. So this is essentially where evaluators and annotators of medical data and data science interact in a traceable, auditable, GMLP compliant environment, which nicely bakes into the newly announced FDA's regulatory accelerator that allows AI players to illustrate model performance on the fly to FDA reviewers and other personnel. So think of the models module, your gateway to regulatory accelerator with the FDA, showing how you exactly are planning to show clinical results in a visual as well as quantitative way. Thank you for your attention, and happy to look forward to sharing my insights on other models and modules in the future. Bye now.